We have some major breaking news that has been announced this early afternoon that Dodge and Ram are returning to NASCAR in 2026. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. As I just said a second ago, we got some pretty massive and major breaking news this early afternoon, as it has been officially announced and confirmed that Ram will be returning to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series in 2026 with the intentions of going cup racing potentially as early as 2027. Here's a report from Bob Pockrass earlier today. Ram to enter trucks in 2026. No teams and drivers were announced. They're hoping to have 4 to 6 teams in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series in Daytona in February. And of course, as noted by Bob Pockrass as well, their intentions, of course, are to return to NASCAR Craftsman Truck competition in Cup competition in 2027. Here's also reported by Matt Weaver as well. Ram is back. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series manufacturer will include a fourth manufacturer next season with a Stellantis own brand joining the Chevy Silverado, Ford F-150, and Toyota Tundra. Why is this happening? Of course, the Ram brand is returning because, of course, there's been a lot of rumors about it, and the Hemi, of course, is making a comeback as well to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series in 2027. Now, today, like I mentioned, there were no teams that were officially announced and confirmed, but they're looking to have around 4 to 6 teams in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series in 2026. Also, there's a lot of talk about going cup racing with the Dodge program for 2027 as well. They are looking potentially for the 2027 year, but nothing's been officially announced and confirmed on that at this point. This is a major deal. We, of course, have known that this likely was going to be happening for the 2026 season, going all the way back to the beginning of the year. It was originally reported by Chris Knight from CashFence.com that Ram was going to be likely returning for the 2026 season. There have been documents that have been sent, and of course, drawings have been sent as well, and Jordan Bianchi also reported that at Atlanta Motor Speedway that was going to happen. Then, of course, we've been getting reports recently that Cletus and Farrell might be involved with this program for the 2026 season. However, Garrett Mitchell has denied at least once or twice at this point that is happening, so at least for the announcement today. So it's unknown at confirmed if he's going to be involved with this program. Something he might be involved, but it's unknown at this point if this is going to happen. This is a big deal. Of course, the last time Dodge and Ram were in NASCAR competition was all the way back in 2012 when, of course, they had a Cup Series program for Dodge, and also the trucks had Dodge support in 2012 as now. Now, you did have the zombie Dodges, of course, up until like 2016 or 2017 when they went to the new regulations around there for the Craftsman Truck Series around 2016 to 2017, but now you've got them coming back to truck competition with full-on support. This is a major deal, and this is really exciting to see a new manufacturer come in. We've been hearing Steve Phelps saying there's a new manufacturer coming. We keep hearing the new manufacturer is coming, but we don't get any official confirmations. But now it is officially happening. Dodge is coming back to the sport for the first time in a very long time, and it is very exciting. It's a huge day for the sport. It's a huge day for the Craftsman Truck Series for a lot of reasons. Number one, it's going to open up to more entries. We've been having a lot of times this year where there's been a ton of struggles with teams that can't find a way to be able to fill the fields. We've had issues with purses. With Dodge coming in and Ram coming in, you got to think that more money will be coming into the truck series, which will increase the purse money for the series. So that is a really big deal as well. Now the speculation begins on what teams could also go there for 2026. A lot of people think maybe ThorSport Racing could be one of the options. I know Breakart brought up on his channel that he doesn't think it's going to be ThorSport. From what I understand, ThorSport is in the final year of their contract with Ford, and let's be real honest, yes, they show some decent speed at Michigan, but they generally have struggled in the Craftsman Truck Series this year. Ty Majeski's basically on the borderline of making it. They've got 1 or 2 trucks, actually only 1 truck currently locked in the playoffs right now. That is Ty Majeski. All the other trucks that Jake Garcia, to be fair, has been doing better than Haley Deegan this year in that truck. And, of course, Matt Crafton and Ben Rhodes have both been struggling in truck competition this year, so many think that ThorSport could be one of the teams that does go over there in the future. And I think of some other teams. I look at Nice Motorsports. You know, the rumor of Dodge will get to 2027 with the Cup program in just a short little bit. But I think that you got to look at that as well being a potential possibility as well with Nice Motorsports. Nice Motorsports, while they are high up on the Chevy development pipeline, they're not a priority Chevy team. The priority Chevy team is CR7 Motorsports. That's a priority Chevy team. And also McAnally Hilgeman is a priority Chevy team as well. Nice Motorsports really hasn't been the priority Chevy team. And I think Spire Motorsports too, which is very closely aligned. So I think Nice Motorsports could be an option. Plus, I don't believe any of the drivers under contract with Chevrolet. I don't think Caden Honeycutt is. I don't think Bailey Curry is. I certainly don't think the other drivers like Matt Mills are under contract with that program. So I'd watch for Nice. And I also think Dodge is probably going to have their own factory program as well for 2026 as well. Again, we talk about Cletus McFarland. I know he's denied it, but Cletus has been brought up as a possibility. I think it'd be interesting if he came in and been a driver for that program, at least on a part-time basis. I think he could be one to watch. And I've also seen Rackley Racing brought up as an option, perhaps. I don't think Rackley has a major deal with any of the big organizations in a Chevy camp right now. So I think that would certainly be a really big possibility on that front. But the other side of the thing is the intention to go Cup Series racing. Like I mentioned a second ago, we are hearing that Dodge is looking to go Cup Series racing in the next couple years. And we might be seeing a program as early as 2027 or 2028. So if they do go Cup Series racing, what teams could they be looking at? One team that I've seen brought up is Legacy Motor Club. Legacy Motor Club is third on the Toyota pipeline currently at the moment. You've got, of course, Joe Gibbs Racing, which is the number one Toyota team. And then you have 2311 Racing. But we don't know what the long-term future with 2311 Racing is, with the lawsuit going on with them in front row being in the lawsuit with NASCAR at this particular moment. I think that Legacy would be an interesting choice, and considering that GMS Racing hasn't brought up as a possibility for the Truck Series program, I could certainly see that being a major possibility of them going over, because Maury Gallagher, I don't think he has full intentions with the team anymore. He still has part ownership, to my understanding, with the organization, so maybe we see them go over. I've seen people brought up RFK Racing. I think RFK, because Jack Roush is still with the program. Jack Roush being there, I don't think they're going to switch over to Dodge in any way, shape, or form. I think they're going to stay with Ford long term. I think Kaulig Racing is another interesting option. Kaulig Racing is a team that's not very high on the Chevy pipeline. They're like the 4th or 5th team currently at the moment in the Chevy camp right now, especially since Hendrick's number 1, Spire's becoming the number 2, and Trackhouse is number 3. I think Kaulig would be an interesting option. I think they want to become a team that's really, really good in the future, so I could see them certainly being a possible team to definitely watch out for. But I think the most likely Chevrolet team or team that's going to go over there, in my opinion, is Trackhouse Racing. Trackhouse Racing is the one that makes most sense. Many in the industry think that Trackhouse could be the team. They are not as fast with Chevy right now. They're not as good as they were a couple years ago. And you think about this, Trackhouse did have association with Chip Ganassi Racing, bought Chip Ganassi's racing stuff, and Chip Ganassi was the first team, was one of the first teams that went over to Dodge that had a lot of success. So I think that Trackhouse would be an interesting option. Plus, right now, I believe Daniel Suarez is not under contract with Chevy. Ross, I don't believe, has a contract with Chevy. SVG doesn't have a contract, and I think Zillage might, but Zillage probably wouldn't go anywhere because he's got the development deal with that program. I think Trackhouse wants to be the number one team. And historically, teams that are the number one teams at these organizations, these manufacturers, they tend to be the number one team. Think about Joe Gibbs Racing, for example. Joe Gibbs Racing, they were a team that's kind of running in the middle of the pack. And then they went, running really solid, but not great, kind of a similar position Trackhouse Racing was. And they switch over to Toyota, and look at that. They're one of the most successful teams in competition right now. They've been super successful, and they're very, very good. And I think that Trackhouse wants to assert themselves as that number one team. So I think they could be the team that really is the dark horse here to make the move over. And then finally, of course, I think about other people. Could we see Tony Stewart get back involved? Probably not at this point. I know Tony Stewart has the NHRA stuff going on, but Tony Stewart has stated publicly that he is not really interested in coming back to NASCAR at this particular moment. I mean, he got tired of the sport a couple years ago when he couldn't get Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch be in his program with Stewart Haas Racing, and Tony lost interest in being in the sport. So I don't think Tony Stewart is going to come back in any way, shape, or form. Nonetheless, this is a really, really big deal, and speculation is going to start becoming rampant for 2026 on what teams are going to go over there. This is really, really exciting. It's a major deal for the sport, and I think it's very awesome to see that Ram is officially coming back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series in 2026. I'm very intrigued to see what teams exactly are going to go over there. Looking forward to it and excited to see that the Ram program is officially coming back to trucks for the first time in a very, very long time. So, that is going to be today's special breaking news report on Ram returning to NASCAR. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go below that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. What teams do you think are going to switch over to Ram in 2026? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And what two teams do you think will come in? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And what teams do you think are going to switch over potentially to the Dodge program if they go Cup racing in 2027? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. well. In a couple hours from now, we're going to see the review from the NASCAR Cup Series race in Michigan. There might also be a Shane Van Gisbergen video that is going to drop as well. Then, of course, tomorrow we'll talk more about the Dodge news. We're going to talk about some updates on the lawsuit between 2011 and Front Row as the drivers commented a little bit on the injunction ruling from earlier this weekend. We'll also talk a little bit more about the truck race as well. We've got a lot of Mexico stuff coming out this week. We're going to have the intros for the Cup Series, maybe also Xfinity. And I might do a little bit of a preview video on the Mexico race as well. We might be doing a preview video for that weekend. We're going to have a news video on Wednesday, and we might do some silly season stuff in the future. We'll have to kind of wait and see. We got content on people like Haley Deegan, Shane Van Gisbergen, Cards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Amazon Prime, KSL, Logan Paul, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Ryan Preece, Connor Zos, Junior Motorsports, Sheldon Creed, Sam Mayer, Cletus Farland, Frankie Muniz, all the good stuff we'll be talking about on the channel in the coming days and weeks as we take you guys over to Mexico next week, and a lot of great content dropping really soon. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time. Or great, awesome NASCAR content, other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.